Alright, this reading is for you, Angelique. You wanted to know if John will join the military and if so, if he will be successful. So I went ahead and I did a question spread for you. It's supposed to be in the form of a question mark, but my table's not long enough, so I had to put the end of the question mark right here. But it doesn't change anything else. It doesn't change the meanings or anything. Before I get started, I want to apologize for any background noise or potential baby cries in the background because Gideon is in the room with me, but he's sleeping, and John is with Caden in the other room, and Caden does not know how to keep the volume down low. So hopefully we don't have too much background noise. So with that said, let's get started. So the first card we have is directed to your actual question, which is, will John go into the military? And let's get a little closer. He got the Two of Wands. And what that basically means is that for right now, yes, I do see him potentially going into the military just because John feels so confident in the military. He is a type of individual that hasn't really been able to find his niche in life. Everything he's done, he's always felt like it wasn't him. And for whatever reason, the military, anything in that genre, calls to him. And it's because of that that he feels that your life would be set on track if he did do this. So that card is just confidence and confidence and confidence. And when he talks about it, he knows what he's talking about because he knows so much about it. And that's basically what's going on right here. So in his mindset, it's a good choice. It's something that he wants to do because he knows about it. So that's basically right there. What's pointing to is a yes. Again, I'd like to stress that what the cards tell you are a potential reality. They are telling you what the future could be. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to happen. They just give you a glimpse, a window of a potential reality. Okay, for whatever reason, my stereo decided to turn on magically by itself. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. All right, let's continue. Next question, which is going to be, let's see, the Seven of Cups, asks, how does this make you feel? How do you feel about this whole situation? And when this card came out, Angelique, all I have to say is that you have a whole lot of feelings bundled up inside you. You feel proud of John, but at the same time, you have very little trust in yourself, nor faith. You feel that you might not even be able to hold up your end of the bargain. You feel that he's doing so much for your family, and what have you done for your family? All I gotta say is that you gotta stop beating yourself up because you do so much by being a wonderful mother to JR. Next card, obstacles to overcome, and you got the Chariot in reverse. Now, this basically means that you both need to make sure that this decision is not made solely for material gain. Now, I for one know what it's like to not have anything in life. Right now, our family is at a very low point in our lives. You know, we're in the same boat as you guys. We have very little money. It always seems like things are going wrong. And I've told you time and time again that the way we think about things has a huge impact on our lives. And even me myself, you know, I preach and I preach and I preach, but do I do it all the time? No. I'll be a negative ninny a lot of the time. But, you know, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to just say, I just want to wake up and for everything to be like, oh, worry-free. You know, wouldn't that be freaking fantastic? But I don't want to get too sidetracked. But what I'm basically trying to say is that you don't want John to just go into the military just for the money. You know, I mean, in a way, the last time I talked to you, I mean, that's what it kind of sounded like. It sounded like he felt that he didn't have anything else, that, you know, that this was going to be the only thing that he could really do. And that's fine. You know, I mean, once we come to a point in our lives where we just need to make a decision, we need to make a decision. But do not go into it just for the money. Because when you do things like that, you're choosing an unwise path. You really need to look deep down into this issue, and you need to make the right choice. But it needs to come from the both of you. Can't be like, well, you go ahead and you do it if it makes you happy. You know, you need to really ask him, Are you doing this also for yourself? In other words, are you doing it also to make a better person for himself? Does he want to go into the military so that when he comes out, he's a better husband, he's a better father? He needs to look at things like that, not just, I'm going to go into the military because it's going to give me a lot of money and it's going to give me a lot of money fast. So make sure that you guys really talk about that, because that's a big issue. Next card means past regarding this question. So in other words, military has obviously come up in the past, so we're going to take a look at what that was, like what was going on. You got the Queen of Swords upside down. So that basically means that there were a lot of problems, a lot of troubles with this issue, but neither one of you wanted to see them. It's kind of like unspoken. It's because of this that the divorce or separation was even brought up, either verbally or mentally. So it seems that this has been a very, very sensitive topic. And at the time, neither one of you was honest with each other about their feelings about this issue. So it's touchy, and you guys went through a lot of stuff, but what was in the past is in the past. And, there's nothing we can do to change it, because right now we're in the present. So, yeah, let's move on. Next card is the Empress, and that has to do with, sorry, I have a big notebook on my lap and I almost dropped it. It has to do with your present thoughts. Last card was the past, this is present. So now you do feel better, however, you feel as though you personally aren't doing enough. You feel like a failure. You ask yourself, can you be strong enough for your family and your mother? Whenever this card comes out, the Empress always represents a motherly figure or pregnant woman, stuff like that. So for you, it would be your mom. You feel that with John gone, everything is up to you. Everything is going to be up to you. You're going to have to not only take care of, JR, yourself, but you're going to have to take care of your mom too. And you feel that without John, you're not going to be able to do anything. You feel as though you haven't amounted, you haven't amounted to anything. Oh God. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like mixing up my words. You feel as though you haven't amounted to anything. Just because things haven't gone your way, like, for example, like business-wise for you. That doesn't mean that you're not a good person. I mean, I know what it's like to try and do something and it doesn't turn out that way. And I know you get frustrated, especially like, I know you try and you book your Sensi parties and stuff. And just because things don't go your way does not mean that you have not put in your part to this relationship, because you have. So don't beat yourself up. Don't think that you can't do things just because John isn't there. You need to have faith in yourself. Okay? Don't forget that. Faith in yourself. So, we are on card number 6. Right down here, which is the Priest. That basically is the future. Your near future. With this card, I do see John potentially joining the military, because I see him signing a lot of paperwork. And I mean, when you join the military, that's just like one big contract, right? So I do see him signing something. And when it comes down to that, I cannot stress enough that he must read the fine print. He mustn't go into things blindly, because if so, he will suffer the consequences. So if he is going to go into the military, he needs to make sure he knows exactly how long he's going to be gone, where they're going to ship him to, where they're going to station him. He just can't go in there, sign a bunch of paperwork, and then say, oh yeah, they're totally going to do this for me. Because if he didn't read what he was signing, they're going to screw him over. So he really needs to make sure that he does his homework and he reads every single thing on that piece of paper before he signs anything. All right, our next card is going to be if you need professional advice, and you got the Lovers upside down. Now, when I mean professional advice, I mean lawyers, counselors, stuff like that. For you in this case, it would be a counselor, and I would recommend seeing a counselor for couples. Because if you are going to be a military wife, you need to make sure that your relationship is in good standing as of right now. Meaning, if John doesn't know the issues that you feel, how you feel as a mother, as a wife, that you just feel that you haven't done enough in this relationship, you cannot let him go with those doubts in your heart. Because you need to make sure that your relationship is strong. And if you lack faith in yourself, you're hindering the relationship, because you're not being honest. And I know that if you told him what was going on, he would be there to support you. So you really do need to make sure that you're honest with each other before anything happens. And if it means going to a counselor, I highly, highly, highly recommend it, just so that you can make sure that everything is set into place. You guys are both on the same page before he goes off to the military. Now, your last card is the outcome. And right here, it's the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the outcome is that right now, John doesn't have the strength to wait for money. Again, that's why, you guys have been talking about for him going into the military and stuff. But you cannot let him do it because he desires quick money, which, like I stated before, I can kind of see it potentially happening, him joining the military just for the money, and that cannot happen. I also see someone lingering in the shadows that has been telling him that he can make quick money doing something illegal, whether it be, I don't know, selling weed or, selling something else. I see it happening, or it hasn't happened yet, but that person is in the background. So you might want to watch out for that. Because believe you me, people have told John the same thing. Because, I know we all know people that, are on the shady side, or, they're good people and everything, but they might not make the best choices. And, they want to help, and they'll tell you, hey, well, I do this and that, and I make a lot of money. And it's true, they do. But, it's not worth the risk, especially when you have a family. So just keep that one in mind. So that's your overall reading. I highly recommend that you go and you read this again, take notes. You can ask me questions and stuff. I'm open to further explain anything that I've already told you. I also had asked what your astrological sign was, and we had determined that you were a Leo. So I wanted to go ahead and do a little zodiac reading for you, basically for today. I usually do them every day, yearly, monthly, stuff like that. But for today, it seems as though you had a lot of negative waves thanks to the lovely planet Jupiter and the moon. Because of them, they disrupted a lot of your plans. You may even find that John has been ignoring any of your romantic advances, or even just little times you want to talk to him. You might have found that he's been a little cold these last few weeks. You're also under a lot of pressure career-wise, and little things keep ruining your plans. And I know exactly what you're going through, because it happens to me too. It can be really hard to smile, but you know what? Tomorrow is always going to be a bigger and brighter day, my dear. So I really hope that you were able to get some insight from this reading. Like I said, all I ask in return is to let people know what I do, and I'd greatly appreciate it. And I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to do this reading for you, because I think that a lot of people tend to forget that when they get their cards read, they're giving that person the permission to look into their lives. So I'd like to say thanks. Your life is private, and you basically let me take a peek. So I am highly honored for you giving me the opportunity to do this for you. And I really hope that I gave you some insight, Angelique. You take care of yourself, and if you need anything, you know who to call.